Okay, so I wanted to do a video basically on light skin privilege. This is in response to a video I saw 2 days ago. Sadly, I actually wanted to make a video last night about it, but what happened was something happened to the video and it wouldn't really save and it was just stuck. So anyway, I had to get rid of it and redo it, and so that's what I'm doing right now. A major thing that, and excuse a few of the things in my room. Right now I am doing laundry, and I'm going to hop in the shower in a sec. Okay, so I just got out of the shower, and yeah, I'm just wanting to do a video on this. Basically, so I was doing a video on light skin privilege because there's this girl who was trying to say there was privilege in being light skinned. And I even talked it over with my mother, who, in the aspect I was talking about, my mother, she had some stuff to say, which was kind of funny. I'm sorry, but my mother is judgmental. So she is very judgmental and doesn't like certain things that people choose to do with their lives. But outside of that I understood what my mother was trying to say, that some people basically with light skin privilege want light skin privilege to exist so they can have something to be happy about. And I actually think that is not a bad thing, honestly, because is that bad to actually be happy about something that you have, or some kind of some aspect of your phenotype? You know what I mean? That's not a bad thing, I don't think. Now, some people might think that's bad, but I don't, personally. I think you should be happy to be what you are. That's another story about being light-skinned, because the individual I'm talking about was not light-skinned. But who really cares about that? To me, I'm like, you can be light-skinned, you could be brown-skinned, you could be dark-skinned, you can be white-skinned, and you should love what you are. A lot of the time I feel like people often act like brown skins, for example, can't love who they are. And then some brown skins will feel like they can't love who they are, so they'll try and say they're light-skinned or dark-skinned in order to say they love their dark skin or their light skin. So then that's more acceptable. Which is weird, because most black people are brown skinned. So you would think it would be encouraged to appreciate what you are, because most of us have to love being brown skinned, because most of us are stuck with it. You know what I mean? But anyway, my point was, what I wanted to say was, I kind of feel like what the person was talking about, I could not say to a dark skinned person specifically. That's why I didn't even say this to my own mother. But I kind of felt like there was a point to be made, kind of, but to me, this is how I see it. Okay, so you can have light skin privilege in the sense of, okay, so in my perspective, as someone who does phone sex operate, you could say that I benefit from privilege, I guess, and skin tone privilege in a sense, because when I would do phone sex work, what would happen is, like I said, I could take photos outside and people would not perceive me as a black person. They would perceive me as someone who was white. And that's, honestly, I wore a wig, I wore blue eye contacts and stuff, but if I was dark skinned, that is true that technically I would not have that same effect. and I guess you could say that was some kind of privilege. But to me, the way I see it is this: who says say anything is a privilege? That's my problem. Like, how are you going to say something's a privilege when you don't know what it's like to have the shoe on the other foot? Like, I don't know how you're treated if you're dark skinned in my sector. I don't. But I do know from what I've heard from other dark skinned black women that they got a lot of money as well. It was just through a different avenue, through a different person with a different interest. It's like saying that there's tattoo privilege or there's non-tattoo privilege. You know what I mean? Some people are into tattoos, some people are not into tattoos. Some people are into dark skin, some people are into light skin, some people are into white skin, some people are into Asian skin, some people are into Hispanic skin. Do we say any of this is Asian privilege, Hispanic privilege, dark skinned black women's privilege, or white people's privilege? No. And that's a major problem of what I have with those situations, is that why do we always think just because somebody benefited from their skin tone that means that's light skin privilege, when it could just be they benefited off of the cards they were handed, and they dealt with the cards that were handed, basically. In my case, I dealt with the cards I was handed. That's it, and that's what we all should do. That's not taking